you, Scott. I'm Chris Walker. This is Daybreak on CBC Radio 1. There are no classroom walls. There are no letter grades. But grades 9 and 10 students taking a course called Experiential Project-Based Indigenous Community, or EPIC for short, they'll still receive course credits toward their graduations. It's the first time this course is being taught at Southern Okanagan Secondary School in Oliver. Ryan Baptiste has been teaching it for the past couple of weeks. He also helped develop the course, and he's on the line with us this morning. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning.
How does EPIC work?
So with EPIC, like you were saying, it's the E's for experiential, P's for project-based, I's for indigenous, and C's for community. And like with this program, it was mainly designed to help engage our students more in the classroom. And we want to emphasize really on the project-based learning, the experiential learning, and kind of like this focuses more like kind of like on the First Nations principles of learning. And we want to just kind of take this with a variety of venues, like looking at like the outdoors, things in the community, and throughout the school. And the students are just going to be learning through various group discussions, individual work on their projects, things like that, outdoor pursuits, lots of skill development, and peer teaching amongst each other.
If it's project-based, give us an example of one of the projects.
So like one of the examples, like for like the projects we're working on right now, is I have the students building some PVC pipe snowshoes. And we're actually going to be finishing them in class hopefully this week, and then depending on how long it takes them to finish, we'd actually want to go out and test them out in the wilderness, and with a local mountain nearby, we're going to go out and explore and try out our homemade snowshoes and see how well we can do and how long we can last.
Why does this kind of learning benefit students, do you think?
Well, from what I've heard from a lot of the students, they find that just the traditional learning, just being behind the desk all day, listening to their teachers. With most students, you find with maybe like 10, 15 minutes of listening, they're usually pretty good, and after that, they start to zone out. So with this, we want to try to like prevent that and just get them more engaged. And we just want to try to do lots of different things, get them moving, get them working with their hands, so we can get them more engaged and more excited to come to school.
And so, but how do you measure their performance? I suppose if you build a snowshoe and it doesn't work, there's one way, but there are no letter grades, so how do you measure their performance?
So with the classes, like with like any typical course, it has PLOs that the students need to meet. And especially with the new curriculum that's been coming out, it's very outcome-driven. So we have all the outcomes for the 4 classes. So the 4 classes that are being covered are information technology, PE, social studies, and woodwork. So the students ahead of time are going to know what the outcomes are. And as we go along with the help of the students and myself, we're going to be able to check off the outcomes we do. So say like for building snowshoes, for like the woodwork portion, that's kind of like the building the project. And then for social studies, we're actually looking also at the history behind snowshoes and how their importance was for First Nations people and just pretty much any people in general for when it comes to the winter time. And then for the PE, we are going to be taking them, going out and about, using them, seeing how they work. And with the information technology, we'll be using digital media such as the computers, cameras, videos, and we're going to be documenting our process and putting it all up on blogs and through our EPIC Classroom using the Google Apps. And the students can keep track of their learning, and also parents in the community can kind of see what the students are doing as we go along.
I'm curious what you've noticed in kind of the look in your students' eyes as compared to in a regular classroom. Do you notice that they're more engaged?
Yeah, I noticed that they're actually a lot more engaged. Just at first, it was a big shift for the students because they're with me all day, every day. And usually students will say like they have like first period, then the bell goes, and then second period, third period, fourth period. And when they hear the bells, it's so ingrained in their mind that they need to go somewhere else. But like sometimes when we're working in the shops, we'll be in there for half the day. So I just tell the students, just ignore the bell. We're just kind of doing our own thing, and they're just like, oh, really? We can actually just keep doing this? And they're just kind of happy about that. And just being able to like have that freedom and options to kind of do different things.
Are there kids who struggle with that?
With the kind of like freedom and like
yeah.
Not really. Like step first, like I was saying, the students are really ingrained, and kind of change is kind of hard to get used to. But now that we're starting to get into the second week, students are starting to adjust, and they're adjusting very well.
Ryan, how long does this program go? Is it a pilot project for the year, or will this continue year after year?
So right now it's just set for the second semester, and we'll be talking with the next year's grade 9 and 10 students, and we want to try to keep the enrollment going. And with the success of this year and with the future success, we want to try to keep this going year after year, just in the second semester for right now.
Ryan, interesting stuff. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ryan Baptiste teaches a new curriculum called EPIC.